In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things that I do every single day. They have nothing to do with business, but they make me a better businesswoman. Over the years, I learned that one of my most valuable resources is not even just time, it's the energy. Because if you have time, but you don't have energy, what's the point? And it's something that I didn't think about much at the very beginning, because I remember back in the corporate, it was more than 10 years ago, but this is when you literally have a schedule and you follow the very clear pathway and guidelines. But when I left my corporate job more than 10 years ago, my husband and I, we moved to Bali. I covered all of that. It's quite a story in a different episode if you're curious. I think it's called How I Became a Digital Nomad in Bali. When we left to Bali and we became entrepreneurs, everything was kind of upside down. So we had all the time on our hands, but we didn't have the structure, and we had to learn as a new entrepreneurs how to manage our time. So at the beginning, it was all about just time. How do you prioritize things? How do you structure your days? All of that. And that was a big topic. When we just got plugged into the entrepreneurial community, all of a sudden we had this conversation, how to become a high performer, how to get more out of your day. So this is where it came from. And then with COVID, I think when all of us started moving into home, and during COVID, my husband and I, we got literally locked down in Spain. This is where we had very, very rigid, strict policy. You literally couldn't leave your home for a month. So we were stuck at Mali, literally couldn't go to do sports, couldn't go outside for fresh air. We were lucky we had a terrace, but still, it was very tricky time. And this is again where I had to go so much deeper into understanding not just how I manage my time, but also how do I have more energy? So for example, at the end of the day, when I finish my work day, how can I actually do things that also have meaning for me? How can I be more present for my family? How I can actually read an interesting book in the evening and go meet a friend or do something meaningful in the evening, not just watch series. So that was a topic that kind of was emerging more and more through the years. And a lot of people have been asking me a lot. So a lot of people have been following me for years, and they've been seeing my output on Instagram, for example. They're telling me, oh, I'm seeing that you're posting on Instagram, you're so consistent. I'm seeing that you're doing a masterclass, you're running masterclass, I'm getting your emails. It looks like you're doing so much. How do you do that? So this is the type of question that I've been getting through years as well, when I became a little bit more public, a little bit more visible on Instagram. So today I'm going to be sharing all of that with you. So first of all, it's been quite a journey. It's not something that all these habits that I'm going to be about to share with you, it's not something that emerged like right away, or I just read a book and it was just all working perfectly for me. I'm a big advocate for developing your own recipe for what works for you. In general, there is no such thing as like one fits all recipe or criteria or anything like this. If everything was so straightforward and so black and white and so easy, everybody would be running a 7-figure business and living the life of their dreams, right? The interesting part of life is that you have to really dive deep and think about what works for you, for your preferences, for your values, for your body, for your lifestyle, for where you live, all of that. So this is what I know worked for me for years. So I'm happy to share it with you, and I hope it is something that you can also implement for you. But ultimately, my advice would be for you to start also experimenting, start trying new habits, start seeing what actually makes the biggest sense for you, what moves the needle for you. And number 1 for me is daily walks with my dog. I walk my dog twice a day, morning and evening. And my husband and I, we actually laughing that these walks are not so much for our dog as for literally ourselves. So when I walk my dog, I don't listen to anything. Sometimes I can. Generally, it is a time where I'm just clearing my mind, connecting to myself. Really, like in the beginning of the day, would be thinking about what I want to accomplish, like just starting to move my body. Depending on the season, I would do it first thing in the morning. Like in summer, it would be literally the first thing in the morning. Afterwards, it's too hot to walk your dog. In winter, it could be after I had a breakfast, for example. So in the morning, it will be more thinking about my day, what I'm going to do, like slowly, gently waking up and just connecting with yourself and having this moment of peace, moment of quietness. And in the evening, it's more about thinking, what has happened today? Thinking about my day, what really moved the needle, what was great, what could I improve, some new ideas are popping up. It's really a very precious time. Cannot say that I'm always very excited to go on a walk. Sometimes in the morning I was like, the last thing I want to do is go walk my dog. In the evening it also happens that Well, I just would like to stay home for once and not go for a walk, even though we don't do big walks in the evening, but still. So sometimes it does happen. I don't want to go, but then at the end of the day, it's always the best thing. So this is what I do. And before even we had a dog, I would try to motivate myself to go at least on a morning walk to really have this quiet moment for myself. Really a game changer. It's just so beautiful. I think especially in the world where we are living, it's so fast paced. We are always connected. We are always on our device. There are so many things happening. So when I walk, I don't have my phone with me, nothing. This is really the moment when it's just quietness, peace with myself, nothing, no distraction, nothing. So it's very, very precious and really helps me as an entrepreneur. Number 2 is planning my day the day before. This has really been a game changer. I know it's very simple and basic, but a lot of actually my clients have been recently asking me inside my brand mentorship, because one of the things that we are working with them is how can you show up more as a premium coach? And there is a lot of inner work that you have to be doing. You cannot be a mess behind the scenes and then show up on socials and say, I am a premium coach. It's like you have to clean up your act behind the scenes as well. And we were looking at their schedule and we were actually thinking about how they can optimize how they run their own business if they're saying they are showing up as a premium coach for their clients. And one of the things was actually planning your week the Sunday before. So when Monday comes, you're not stressed and thinking like, what I'm going to do? Like, what is going to happen this week? Or responding your emails or like diving into actual work right away. The same with planning your day. If you're starting your day in the morning and you're literally starting with opening your email or social media, for me personally, I know that my day is lost. If I open my phone and open my email, open my Instagram in the morning, gone. My day is pretty much gone because my brain goes into this over-functioning mode already. I am already getting distracted by everything that I see out there. I'm getting distracted by other people's agenda. Oh, there is a fire here. This is where my team need to respond. I need to fix this. I cannot do anything unless I fix this, even though this thing might not be urgent. So what I'm doing is I'm planning my day the day before in the evening. And then the first thing when I come into my office in the morning, I start working on the number one thing that is going to move the needle for me. And I know that if anything happens and I don't get to do anything else in the day, if I have focused on this one thing, I know that this day has been a success. So this is how I really prioritize my time, and I really make sure that I plan my day the day ahead, and I have this sacred time in the morning when I'm really dedicating 2 to 3 hours on the most important task at hand. Could be different things depending on the season. Sometimes it is working on my masterclass, sometimes it is working on my marketing strategy, for example. Sometimes it is brainstorming the path for my clients, my product suite. Sometimes it is working on developing the actual program for my clients. So different things, but this planning has been a game changer. Number 3 is daily movement. So I've been also experimenting so much with being active or doing sports through the years. I worked with a lot of personal trainers. I've done a lot of gym training. I've done calisthenics training. What else I've done? Like a lot of like outside workouts, inside workouts, in the gym, at home, all of that, like so many different things with different coaches. I am a big proponent of actually hiring a personal trainer, paying them money, and having this commitment. That really helps for you to have this as part of your day and really making sure that you're not just saying, I wish I can be more organized and I wish sports could be part of my life, but actually making it happen. One of my clients have been actually asking me inside my brand mentorship, I would love to have more movement in my life. I would love to have this daily physical activity, but how do I do that? Like, it's so much effort. And then there is something more important is always coming into place. And yeah, that's true. And the recipe for me was that literally scheduling those workouts with my trainer, paying her money. So I know that it's on my calendar. I paid money for that, so I'm going to show up. I don't have to think about that. So I'm not thinking like, do I feel like working out? Because the answer is usually no. And it's more about like, oh, hey, I have this in my calendar. Whatever is urgent or whatever, like I don't feel like, it doesn't matter. I have it in my calendar. I paid money for it. My coach is waiting for me, so I'm going to show up. And then second thing what also made a huge difference for me is actually switching to at-home workouts, online workouts. It happened kind of naturally because when I moved to live from city center to outside of the city, anything is a drive now. So if I want to go to the gym, it's a drive. So it adds like this another layer of complexity. It takes more time, it takes more organization, da 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 da. So it became like pretty complex. So I cannot rely on my discipline or doing all of those things. And like it's already hard, and this adds even more hard complexity in that. So I just literally switched to online. So I made it very easy for me. I paid the money, I scheduled this workout, and I literally just have to roll out the mat in my room. That's it. That's what I have to do, nothing else. So it is as easy as possible for me to do those commitments. And I make sure that I work out pretty much every single day. It doesn't mean that I do like 1 hour workouts. I don't. I have 1 hour workout 3 times a week. That's what is scheduled for me. I try to do 4, but then every day I do at least 15-20 minutes. It could be just a little workout with like stretching, maybe in a yoga mat. It could be just a 15-minute like whole body with the weights. Something very easy, but I make sure, because it, for me, literally, it clears my mind, it energizes me, so I know that I will be able to focus on my work. And big thing has for me as well been moving my workout from morning, because I used to work out in the morning, to actually later in the afternoon. Right now, I know that in the morning I have the clarity of my mind. I actually have the energy, because if I just slept well, I had my breakfast, I walked my dog, I'm actually pretty energized. So in the morning, I'm pretty good. But in the afternoon, this is when I have the energy drop. This is when I need extra infusion of energy. So doing this short workout or 1 hour workout really helps me. So it's been my non-negotiable, and I made it very simple and easy for me. Number 4 is eating veggies or fiber before a meal to balance or to reduce the glucose spike. So this has been like a big game changer for me. And I was actually surprised myself, because I have always looked after what I eat. So I would never really eat things like chips or drink Coca-Cola or anything like this. I would usually just drink water. I would, sometimes occasionally eat some sweets, but after a meal, and I eat a lot of salad in general, and I eat a lot of protein, all of these things. So generally, I would say I eat clean, I eat healthy, I look after what I eat, I don't eat trash, this kind of thing. So when a friend introduced to me a book, Glucose Revolution, and I read that, and I was like, wow, that's going to be a game changer. And it has been. After that, I read another book, Good Energy, also an incredible book. If you haven't read those, please do. It's going to be such an incredible investment. So it's very simple changes that you can implement right away to your regime, to your diet, and it really helps you to balance your glucose spike, so you don't feel this food coma, for example, after a meal in the afternoon, what I used to feel. Eating my healthy meal, but then I would feel like fatigue and tired, and I would literally have a food coma, and I would be like not really very well functioning after a lunch. So introducing those few things, like eating a salad before a meal to make sure I don't have this glucose spike. If I eat any sweets, it's literally after a meal, not a standalone meal. This has been such a game changer, and I noticed that I've been sleeping better. My mood has been more stable, and all of those things. So good. Highly recommend. Next one is reading my Bible. I usually do it in the morning before I walk my dog or right after. So this is something that really helps me to also clear my mind and to learn from this wisdom, through this centuries-old book, and through this wisdom to meditate on the Word of God, to also pray as well, to spend this time with God, and to have this grounding moment before I go out in the world and start doing my things and start working on what I need to be focusing. It has been a big game changer. It has been a big habit, something that I introduced this year. I've had so many big changes this year, and it's been really, really big one. Very holy moment in the morning. Next one is tracking my sleep. This has also been a big one. I haven't yet gone to the extent where I'm going to be wearing any wearables. I'm still like, they all look ugly. I don't want to wear anything. Generally, I don't want to do any of this. So I've been just tracking my sleep for the past year or year and a half, just with an app, very simple. I think I'm using Sleep Cycle, very simple app. But it really gives you some metrics, so you start seeing the patterns. Oh, I had a glass of wine in the evening. It was not very good. It really affected my sleep. Or I had a glass of wine in the afternoon and it didn't affect my sleep. Or I went to bed just 15 minutes later and, oh, it hasn't been so good. So all those little things, they really affect the quality of your sleep. And then if you're only relying on your own feeling about that, your feeling more often than not is just not accurate enough. But when you have the data and you can see it day after day, it really gives you this clarity and you start seeing the patterns and you can really start optimizing. It really helped me to streamline my routine to make sure that I go to bed at the same time, I try to wake up at the same time, what I do before bed, like all of those little things. And it has really helped me a lot because I'm the type of person who started struggling with their sleep for quite a while already. I used to have like very fragile type of sleep. I would wake up a lot of times during the night. I would often wake up completely broken in the morning. So I started thinking about how can I optimize, because all goes back to I want to feel the energy during the day. I want to have the energy, enough energy for everything that I want to do during the day. And one of the things beyond the diet and all the other things has been tracking my sleep. And it's been big. It's been really, really good. And then the last thing is cuddling with my dog. I know it sounds cute and funny and simple, but it is. I've been just talking to my husband today. We actually talk about this all the time about our dog, but it used to be my dream, my biggest dream to have a dog. And so a few years ago when we moved to a house outside, we got a dog and we couldn't be happier because it really brought so much joy into our life. And sometimes during the day when I'm like so much on my computer, so much giving, just having this little moment to come and caress her and cuddle with her and just actually have a look at her and seeing how she's sleeping peacefully just brings so much joy, so much peace to me that I'm just so grateful to have this little animal in my life. So those were the little things that I'm doing daily. There's not everything, so maybe I'm going to do the part 2 because yeah, there has been quite a few things that I have been implementing and I thought they are pretty basic, but my clients, because I've been hearing from them firsthand, they've been saying like, oh, I'm so excited, I'm going to implement that. I've actually implemented that and I've been seeing the difference and it brought me such incredible results. So I'm happy to share that and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this episode, if you want to hear more of this type of episode that don't have so much to do with business, but they actually affect your business because, you know, as an entrepreneur, everything in your life is interconnected because especially when you are the business, you are the face of your business. It's so much about how you show up, how much energy you have. So yeah, I hope it's been helpful. Have a fantastic day and I will see you in the next one.